If there's one thing we've learned about business and life, it's that people are the X factor. They constantly surprise us, both in amazing ways and not so much. We're Ben and Syya, and welcome to the Gnaw on This Business Bytes podcast. This show is all about real life things we all deal with every day, how they relate to business, and how to make some sense out of our daily chaos. Welcome to the show. And welcome back to another episode of Gnaw on This Business Bytes. I'm Ben and this is Syya. And here's a topic I've been waiting to talk about for a long time now. It's about defining professional appearance in a professional setting. Like how and what and why do you wear what when you're in the business world? I mean, we could talk about, branded t-shirts versus collared shirts versus suit and tie versus, shoes versus tattoos. I mean, there's a million different things to talk about. And the question is, what's right in one work environment may not be right in another one. So you need to sit down and think about, say, who are we as a brand? What do we believe? What do we do? Who do we do it for? What are our customers comfortable with? And be able to build your appearance both on an individual level and also as a corporate level to be able to match who you are as a brand and the people that you're trying to influence. So, Syya, let's gnaw on this.
Look, peoples. When I worked in tech sales, I definitely had a different presentation because I had a role to play on behalf of the corporate entity of which I represented.
Yes.
Now, as the founder of Brilliant Being Media, I don't give a damn. I just really don't, right? I mean, I know people probably think my backdrop looks a little chaotic or whatever, but you know what? It isn't at the same time. There's logic to my madness. You ask me, I don't have any tattoos, but if I had a tattoo, there's a reason why I got that particular tattoo. And even if you didn't think about it and it was like, I don't know, a summer night in, Puerto Vallarta, that's still a story nonetheless, right?
That's a story for you to tell.
I think it's interesting. I think this conversation we're having is slightly different from 5-7 years ago when I was in corporate versus now.
Absolutely.
I think there's a huge shift away from quote perceived appearances because the next generations are the ones that are saying, we don't want to be the IBM stiff white shirt, whatever. Now, that being said, allegedly, the Gen A's apparently are swinging back towards that formal life, but you know what? That's human nature to swing back and forth. So right now, I think in this moment in time, I could say most people lean towards casual. I see far less people in suits these days. Far less people in suits.
But it's a difference between suits and ties and not suits and ties and tattoos on your face. And going from one extreme to the other. I mean, here's the difference. When I'm on the West Coast, I wear slacks and I wear a collared dress shirt. I don't wear a suit. I don't wear a tie. That's the uniform here when I'm going to visit my clients. I need to be professional. I need to mirror the people that I'm talking to.
Right.
These are, I'm dealing with executives on the West Coast. Very rarely are they in a suit and tie.
Yes.
They have, most lawyers that I know have a suit and tie, behind their door somewhere, that if they've got a client meeting that is older and expects it, they put on the suit and tie. If they've got to go to court, they've got a suit and tie. But for the most part, they're dressed business casual. Now, on the other hand, I've also got a closet full of very nice suits that if I'm going to New York or if I'm going to Toronto or places like that, where it's expected to still wear a suit and tie, where it's part of the culture, where it's part of the way that people act, I mirror the people that I'm doing business with because I don't want to leave it such a way that it's sitting like, well, that guy's not very professional, or they don't understand us or whatever. And I think we need to look at this on a wider business point of view of says, you may be comfortable in, black t-shirts and ripped jeans and 15 piercings on your left ear, and and a tattoo of a teardrop underneath your right eye. That's cool. That's who you are as an individual. However, the question is, your brand is not how you perceive you to be. It's how the world talks about you when you're not in the room. And we need to sit there and say, do we want people to consider us legitimate? Do we want people to find us valuable? Do we want people to listen to us? Do we want people to think that what we have has value and meaning? Or do we just sit there going, I'm going to rage against the machine? And I think the choice is ours. The choice is ours. I'm not laying blame. It says yes, but who do you want to play in the sandbox with? And what do you want from them?
Look, I'm not disagreeing at all, because I'm on both sides of it, right?
Absolutely.
You think you make a great point, which is know your audience, know who you're talking to. If you are working in a financial industry type role, that industry is extraordinarily conservative still.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's about appearances and finances. No two ways about it. It's still about the expensive watch, tailored suits, fresh makeup, whatever have you, right? But even then, there's like some creativity that you can still, I think, you can still express yourself. So I think with this fundamental question you're asking, that defining professional appearance really is defining who you are authentically, right? Now, don't get me wrong, everyone. Okay, because I'm speaking for myself. I like punk music. I like that guitar. I like that. I mean, a lot of times I'll be in very professional meetings and I'll just be, playing some like fast, like something from the Dead Kennedys, playing while I'm talking to you, right? So, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm walking in with my skater punk outfit and whatever, or skate, whatever it might be, to prove a point that I'm like, ooh, I'm a punk girl. No, I mean, there's time and place for all of that. Yep. So you can still be authentic to yourself. Perhaps maybe that's why I like to wear nothing but black all the time. Like maybe that's my, paying homage to it. Right. So there are ways to express yourself, still be professional, understand your settings. And maybe there are companies that you work at where they do say, we don't, as long as you're not customer facing, we don't care how you dress. Just please be bathed and not in pajamas, right? Like those are the two requirements. So you really have to communicate. I think as a business owner, personally, I communicate with my team all the time, which is, look, business up front. If you're talking to a business up front, and like where you're, Costco yoga
party down below. That's right, on Zoom.
It actually reminded me. You just reminded me of a meme, or I don't have a meme. It was like a TikTok, not TikTok. It was like a YouTube short where, I don't know if it was an interview or if it was like a guy just talking to his boss and he was insecure. Like he didn't have that relationship with that boss just yet.
Yeah.
Where someone had made a comment about, oh, like the door, like, let me go, you need to shut that door. So the guy gets up to shut the door and the boss goes, hey man, nice shorts. And the guy panics and he's like, oh my God, and before he could say anything, the boss gets up to close his door and he too is also wearing shorts.
He's also wearing shorts.
Yeah. So I just love that, because we can play the illusion with each other, but I think you could still be authentic at the same time.
I know this girl. She's extremely professional. Very successful at what she does. She's also got 2 or 3 pieces of beautiful body art on her. Oh. But in a business setting, you'd never know. She's got this really dainty tattoo on her wrist that, is it's unique, it's interesting, it's a conversation piece. And the beautiful body art you'll never see in a business situation.
Oh, of course. I mean, yeah.
And in her situation, she sits there and goes, look, when I'm out on vacation, when I'm out with my friends, when I'm out with my girlfriends, the body art comes out.
Right.
And, I wear outfits that present
reflect
the
it,
stuff that,
right.
Yeah, you flaunt it. But when I'm in a business situation, people don't need to know that she's got this, lower back tattoo.
Is that even a thing anymore?
Huh?
Is that even a thing anymore?
Well, it's not
The
a tramp
tramp
stamp.
stamp?
It's not a tramp stamp. It's but she wears, like, if you're wearing a low cut dress on the
Yeah.
back, like, stuff like that, you notice it. But on the other hand, if you're wearing a business suit or you're wearing, a nice blouse, you'd never know you'd never know she has it. So
So
it's a matter of sitting there being very deliberate. And it's not being you. It's not suppressing your brand. It's not doing this. It's sitting there going, is by doing this, and this going to compromise my ability to be able to accomplish the things that I want to do, because people will not see me as legitimate. And I'm not saying that it's right or it's wrong. I'm saying that it's reality.
it's reality. No, I hear you.
It's reality. Just where sometimes I close up my collar and I throw on a tie, and I wear a suit in 90-degree heat because everybody else is.
God.
It's stupid, but we're all wearing them. And most of the time I'll sit there and say, it's Vancouver, it's a summer. I wear a pair of dress slacks and I wear a golf shirt, and I go to the same type of meetings I would go to New York. But in New York, I wouldn't be caught dead wearing what I would wear on the West Coast.
Of course not. Of course not.
And,
But
and
I'm
in
just going to
both
say
and in
it.
both situations, what I was wearing was completely appropriate and professional.
Again, in the audience and settings. You just made me think about something. And wait, first off, I made a face because the idea of because I remember being there too. Everyone's wearing a suit and it's like 90 degrees outside. I'm like, there's a bunch of stinky people all hanging out together trying to look good, but stinky as all get out underneath the jackets.
Or they got way too much Axe on and they're trying to hide it.
I know, too much. And you're like, yeah, it's like all the chemicals.
Yes.
Anyway, you just made me think of something that might be a little bit more edgy and controversial and probably slightly off topic, but on topic.
Okay.
Which is defining what professional appearance is.
Yes.
I'm almost afraid to say it now that I think about it, because it's professional, but I'll just say it is for those that choose to dress in accordance with the religious beliefs.
Yes.
I believe that's professional dress, and I don't give a rat's, what it may be. Now, that's an odd line to draw as far as, if at all, I'm not saying allow, but for people to reflect their religion and the way they dress and whatnot. I kind of want to be the compromising person, because logically speaking, it should be, they should absolutely dress the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let me ask you this, just to be a smart aleck about it. What if it's I'm a member of the, what's that one? The spaghetti religion.
Well, forget that. Let's take my religion. Let's take Judaism.
Okay.
And I don't wear a kippah all day long, but I know a lot of my friends do. A lot of my friends,
the thingy,
the skull cap,
the skull cap, okay,
that everybody wears, and a lot of people wear them 24 hours a day. Well, they don't wear them when you're sleeping, but whatever, you wear them during your waking hours. And a lot of people, some people, especially in today's environment, are sitting there going, "Well, wait a second, that's not appropriate." But this is, you need to set your own moral compass and your own personal brand. My attitude is, and I guess this goes for the same thing as tattoos, and it goes to the thing, we all have a line in the sand, and our attitude is, if this bothers somebody else, then that's their problem.
It's their reaction. Yeah,
and
it's on them.
You know what? Sometimes that's going to work in your favor. Sometimes it's not. The vast majority of people, I don't care what you see on the media, I don't care what you do, I'd say the vast majority of people are tolerant, are willing to sit there and embrace differences, are willing to compromise, are willing to see everything else. If you're not shoving your religion in my face, I don't have a problem with that, and that's cool. But you know what? There are going to be people out there that are going to hate because they're going to hate, and they're going to mistrust because they're going to mistrust. And you know what? You can't appease everybody, and you can't get everybody to like you. Even if you sell ice cream for a living, not everybody's going to love you. And because you're not going to have the Rocky Road, and they wanted Rocky Road that day. So I think when it comes to how we dress, what we dress, why we dress, we need to sit there and say, is there a line in the sand that I'm not willing to step over it? And I'm going to sit there going, I'm not too willing to change who I am to appease somebody else, because it doesn't matter to me whether they care or they don't care. And I think we personally, as a one-on-one level, need to sit there and say what's important to us. To me, I sit there and say there's things that I'm willing to fight for. There's things I'm willing to fight against. And you know what? Everybody's got to make that same decision, and how important it is for them to be able to be either part of the tribe or to be seen as being an outsider, and whether they embrace that being an outsider, or if that's something that really truly is keeping them from getting to where they need to be.
I love it. I think we could keep waxing poetic on this. I think there's more that we can talk about. Obviously, some days I wonder if this is too short, and other days I'm like, this is too long. So I'm going to cut us off because I think this is a really good stopping point.
All right, I'm Ben.
And I'm Syya,
and we'll see you soon.
Hey! Thanks for listening to another episode of Gnaw on This Business Bytes. If you liked what you heard, we most humbly ask that you like, share, and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to communicate more effectively within your organization, contact Ben at yourbrandmarketing.com or me at brilliantbeammedia.com. We can help you build your community, brand awareness, and personality through digital content and podcasting. We cannot wait to hear from you. So see you next week for another episode of Gnaw on This Business Bytes.